Shiv Khera, educationist and motivational management guru, is joining me. Captain G.R. Gopinath, supporter of the Aam Aadmi Party, also joining me. We have Sunil Alag, economist and chairman of SKA Advisors, and of course Shweta Punj, associate editor, Business Today, joining me here in the Noida studios. Let me start with you, Shweta Punj. I want to get the journalistic, view in to begin with. Here was Arvind Kejriwal, cleverly timing his speech on a day when the vote of account is being done in Parliament by the Finance Minister, no less. He was trying to convince India clearly. Do you think he made a dent?
See, Mahrukh, the timing of his speech is quite significant. He spoke hours after Mr. Chidambaram presented the budget, and we just heard the sound bites. You know, there is sincerity in his voice when he speaks, right? And one thing that he said was very, very significant. He said that government should not play a role in running a business or doing business. That should be left to the private sector, which I think has been a huge concern with the industry. Because the fact is that Mr. Prashant Bhushan is known to have he's known to be left of left, which means that he believes that government should just about do everything. So when an Arvind Kejriwal comes out and says that the government should focus on governance and business should be done by the private sector, I think that should really, that answers a big question as to where or what AAP's economic ideology could be. You know, this was a great opportunity for them to go deeper into where they stand on various issues. But this is one fear, this is one concern, which I think Arvind Kejriwal has cleared. You know, he's cleared the air on this, that no, they are not going to be on for complete state controls, as in that's how I read into it. Okay. They will encourage private sector.
But that's one part of his speech, Shweta, and I want to ask Sunil Alag. Here's a man who calls himself, he has no qualms in saying that he's an anarchist of sorts, and that corruption is the first thing on his political agenda, social agenda, his party agenda. Were you able to see a man, a politician, that perhaps India Inc., despite his inexperience, would vote for?
You know, excuse me, I will just say he is far smarter than all of us put together. He is able to tell the poor person what he wants to hear, and here you've got your own journalist who's saying, wow, he came across and said that, you know, we have no role in business. You know, he says the right things to the right audience, and if we are foolish enough to follow him, then it's up to us, because his actions are very different. And all that I want to say is, if you go back to communism, Lenin and Mao Zedong, whenever they talked to people, they said the right things. You can't argue with him when he says the right things. What you have to worry about is the Stalins around the Lenin.
No, if he's saying the right things, then what problem should India Inc. have? Is he putting it in a certain way that you can't argue it out, or is he saying the right things?
What is his actions? His Stalins do exactly the opposite. How can he survive?
Well, he's just had 49 days, Mr. Alag.
And do you think anyone is... No. All right, 49 days. In that 49 days, he said, I want to apologize for Prashant. I don't want to have a referendum in Kashmir. I don't want. Then he has another one. Oh, I'm so sorry about him. I'm so sorry about him. Is he going to be a sorry Prime Minister? Exactly like Manmohan Singh said, I'm so sorry about Raja having made money. I'm so sorry about this guy. Listen, either your party speaks in one language, in which case I will support you. I am the first one to support you. Bharti wants to break laws. Prashant says whatever he likes, and every time the Prime Minister is going to apologize, we're going to have another Manmohan Singh who's going to say, I'm so sorry about who I've got.
No, but the point here is, and I want to...
Ultimately, at the end of the day, no, they are a communist party. It's about time they accepted it. This is like I was in the 60s in Calcutta when Jyoti Basu came. We all loved him.
Mr. Alag,
he's saying,
I'm against crony capitalism, not capitalism. I don't think any communist would say that. He's saying he's saying business should be left to private players.
One second, very quickly. About that? Very quickly.
But Mr. Alag, what is communist about that?
I'm against crony communism. He is a crony communist. Full stop. I'm a crony capitalist or whatever you want to call.
That might be a perception of him. Today we are purely trying to decipher what his economic agenda is.
I support it.
He seems to want to give India Inc. a free run.
His economic agenda is So look, in Delhi, all his economic agenda was all the freebies. The moment the time came to present the budget, he planned it, I will resign, because in the budget he would have to increase sales tax, he would have to increase everything else to give an economic model.
No, but I want to ask you about what he said today. I want you to restrict to what he said today. He was at the CII.
All right.
He was addressing India Inc.
All right.
What he's done in the past, maybe he wants to have a clean break and start afresh, have a new relationship with India.
He addresses. No, I'm saying he addresses a mohalla in the same way. I will give you free electricity. I will give you free water.
So what is wrong with that, Mr. Alag? That seems to be slightly elitist in the manner you say.
Nothing is wrong.
India Inc. being addressed in the same way as a mohalla, what is wrong with that?
No, I agree with you. Nothing is wrong with that. Let him present an economic model. Let him say, I want to give the following things free. This is where the revenue is going to come from. He's already said, I want to increase income tax. I want to increase excise duty on all the products.
Let me get Captain Gopinath in at this point.
People will vote on that basis.
No, let me get in Captain Gopinath, a supporter of the Aam Aadmi Party. No, let me get in. I heard you, Mr. Alag. Let me get in Captain Gopinath, a supporter of the Aam Aadmi Party. Captain Gopinath is somebody who also is, one of the pioneers as far as India Inc. is concerned in the aviation sector. Were you impressed with what Arvind Kejriwal said today? Not a word on FDI and investment in retail, I beg your pardon. Nothing on the crucial issues, the controversial issues as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Nothing on encouraging investment as far as India Inc. is concerned. Why did he even meet members of India Inc.? What was the message that he was trying to drive at?
I think, very roundly and squarely criticized Kejriwal and the party on many issues. But I think for today he was spot on. I think he sent the right message. I think all of us know this, and I think the whole country is watching us. Anybody who says that there is no crony capitalism in this country is lying to himself and lying to the whole country. This country is
to an extreme, Captain Gopinath.
Why are you interrupting? Sunil, no, don't stop. Don't interrupt.
I'm interrupting.
Please don't interrupt.
Mr. Alag, let Captain Gopinath finish.
Sunil.
Let Captain Gopinath finish.
Oh, come on. No, this is not the way. This is not the way to talk. Interrupt.
That's all.
Why are you interrupting? I'm not talking about you.
I'm interrupting because you are.
I'm not talking about.
No. I am.
Please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt.
There's no crony capitalism.
Mr. Alag.
I didn't say that.
Sunil Alag. Mr. Alag, let Captain Gopinath finish. He was listening to you. Let him finish. Let him complete his point of view. We heard you. We need to hear Captain Gopinath also.
Come on, Sunil. Come on, you are behaving like the people in the parliament now. This is not the way. I heard you out. Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that this country is the biggest bane and evil of this country is crony capitalism. All of us know it. We have great entrepreneurs. I don't want to take names.
I agree.
It could be Infosys. It could be.
I agree.
Don't interrupt. Why are you interrupting? Why are you interrupting? Why can't you have the patience to listen?
I agree with that. That's why I'm saying it. I'm interrupting to say I agree with that.
No, I'm saying
Gentlemen,
I'm not responding to you.
I would want our viewers to actually get both your perspectives. Mr. Alag, if you could please let Captain Gopinath finish, and we'll come back to you as well. We have Shiv Khera also on the panel. Shweta Punj has more to add. Captain Gopinath, go ahead.
I want to correct it.
No. Why don't you correct once he's finished? Let him make his point.
Can you cut off his mic, for heaven's sake?
No, go ahead, Captain Gopinath. Let's not get personal here. Let's not get personal here. Captain Gopinath, go ahead.
No, I'm saying you cut off my mic when he is speaking, but don't let people interrupt. How will anybody listen? I'm not answering what Sunil is saying. I'm generally making a point. It has nothing to do with Sunil. I'm saying we all know in this country that there is crony capitalism without taking names. We know it. There is crony capitalism in various sectors. That's why all these scams. But having said that, what Kejriwal said today was spot on. He is saying, I'm not against business, I'm against crony capitalism. We need private sector, we need a vibrant private sector, but we don't need cartelization. and he being an income tax officer, I think he knows that tax can be collected only if there's income, and income is generated by private sector. Public sector is under loss.
But
only monopoly public sectors are under profit. So he has made the right point, and let us give him credit. Of course, he is surrounded by ideologues, he is surrounded by zealots, he is surrounded by sycophants. We all know that. I have myself criticized that. But today he has very clearly said that he is for business, but he is not for crony capitalism. And we all know what crony capitalism can do in this country.
But tell me
Put
something.
your hand on your heart, and I think...
No, but Captain Gopinath, I want to come in at this point. Here was a select gathering of, head honchos, members from India Inc. who wanted to hear something more definitive. And at the end of it, after that speech was over, it seemed to be a speech that could have been held at a political rally as well. He harped on the same points of gas pricing, perhaps even indicating or escalating the fears that are within many in India Inc. that here, under this man, there could be a witch hunt, which has been the largest, the biggest perception as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned. What was different between this speech versus any speech that Arvind Kejriwal gives at any political rally or any political function?
See,
he spoke of anti-corruption, he went on that. We, or rather India, wanted to hear definitive measures. Where did those come in?
I'm saying, I'm telling you, I'm in business, I know it. And anybody who is going to disagree, I'm not talking of Sunil Alagh, anybody who is going to disagree will be telling a lie. Today business bribes. Today there is still a license raj in a lot of sectors. You can't get things done either at a level of getting a license on the top, or at getting a driver's license, or getting a corporation license. There is bloody corruption in this country, we all know that. So if this guy comes and tells you that there is crony capitalism, don't see red, accept it. If you don't want to accept it, you can disagree with that.
Okay,
but
accept
it. Is there. We know it. All of us know it.
Okay, India Inc. wanted to, Shiv Khera, did India Inc. want to hear that? Did they want to hear the same rhetorical kind of statements that have come from Arvind Kejriwal? Or did they want to hear definitive steps like they perhaps might be getting from others within the political realm?
Well, I have to agree with Captain Gopinath on what he said in terms of crony capitalism, and business cannot work without corruption the way things are today. And certainly there is a perception of Kejriwal that he has a communistic bent. This is the perception out there. And looking at giving out subsidies, whatever it is, and looking at subsidies in any form or way you want, anything given for free anywhere amounts eventually is not appreciated, or eventually it gets wasted. Now, in this shorter period of time, all I can say is, one is, I'm not questioning his integrity, first of all, that is one, but I'm not very sure if he's brought in any specific proactive steps by saying, I will do this, and this I will make sure I delete this. So we need, in fact, very specific do's and don'ts, so we understand exactly what he is looking to do, and then he should stick by it, rather than saying one thing. Sometimes people feel he's saying one thing and he backs off, he's not keeping to that. Though I feel that there are initial teething troubles that have happened initially.
Right.
And for that matter, even BJP had it when they were in power, when they came in, and pretty much every party had it. So I would not hold him totally accountable for that.
Okay.
There are certain teething troubles. But I would not end up questioning his credibility at this point of time unless he proves otherwise going forward.
Okay. It's not just about credibility. I also want to ask Shweta Punj, who's been following Arvind Kejriwal very, very closely. You've also read the book written by him called Swaraj, where he has some very out-of-the-box ideas, for lack of a better phrase to use. And those radical steps that he wants in those books, including, giving all natural resources to the people, he didn't touch upon those. Clearly, it was a very smart strategy at what he wanted to speak and what he wanted to avoid.
Right, so Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal, they've been about Swaraj, self-rule, self-governance, as in that's the point they've harped upon time and again, and that's what the book also talks about. So I did go through the book to get a glimpse into his economic mind, And you know, the sense that I came back with was that he in fact says it in as many words, that he wants to place the power of crucial decision making, which includes giving out mining licenses, which includes very crucial economic decisions, to people. Which is great, but we know that, you know, this is a strategy which can really backfire, because engaging people in governance is one thing, but then expecting them to take a long-term vision or a long-term view on very crucial economic issues is a whole different expectation altogether. And we've seen in Haryana, it's been a disaster with khap panchayats. And so, you know, so I'm actually very curious to know that when they do spell out their economic manifesto, how much of that he talks about in his book, how much of that will get translated into the manifesto, because this is going to be a huge point of contention. If he's going to put such crucial decision making into the hands of the people, and not very many people are going to like me saying that, I'm not so sure if that's a very good idea. However, you cannot doubt his intentions, as Mr. Khera was saying, that you cannot question his integrity, you cannot doubt his intentions. Crony capitalism has been the bane of this country, and yes, he did absolutely, you know, hit the nail on the head when he said that business is good, but crony capitalism is not. So, of course, but we'll have to see, because, you know, he's surrounded by, his coterie is a group of mixed ideologies. Okay. So we'll have to see what of that emerges in the final manifesto.
Okay, final points. Sunil Alag, he says, Arvind Kejriwal also in the course of his speech there said, a small number of industrialists looting the country. He emphasized and re-emphasized on the whole gas pricing controversy. He's a man who's filed an FIR or ordered an FIR to be filed against Mukesh Ambani. Isn't that the reason why India Inc. is worried? You know, that there is a certain amount of corruption, so more than a certain amount of corruption, and that is why India Inc. is worried about this man.
You know, I'm totally in, when I was stopping Captain Gopinath, I'm not against or for crony cap. We have to get rid of them. The question is that when Lenin came in, if you study history, he was a fantastic guy. He only wanted to knock the Tsar out. He kept the Bolshoi theatre, he kept the palaces, he preserved law. 1 second. You have to worry about the Stalins around him. Kejriwal has not shown one iota of capacity of controlling the people who want to violate the laws around him. And that's what worries me, not him. He is an honest guy. He's got good intent. Look at his team.
Okay, how do I support let me get the final word from Captain Gopinath.
And he only talks, I will only Captain say Gopinath. One last point. If you want to talk about the guy who's honest, not one thing has been laid against Modi.
Okay, now, Captain Gopinath, it might not be about Arvind Kejriwal. Sunil Alag, I'm running out of time.
So you must respect it.
No, Sunil Alag, I'm running out of time.
That's all.
You raised a valid point. Let me ask Captain Gopinath. It's not just about Arvind Kejriwal, it's the people who surround him. And that perhaps raises concerns. One, and secondly, Shweta Punj also wanted to ask, when is the manifesto coming out? When is the economic agenda actually going to be put down on paper as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned?
We know it's been in the works for a while, so it'll be good to get a clearer picture on when is it likely to be
He needs to bring in the economic agenda, one, and second thing, I do agree that a very small number of people in this country are actually looting the country. That is true. Okay. I totally agree with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Captain Gopinath, final word from you.
Yeah, I was the first one to criticize the subsidy. I was also the first one to criticize on the FDI.
Right.
I also said that he's surrounded by some ideologues. Just like I think in Congress party, we all know that they were surrounded by a lot of leftist ideologues, and that's how the Swatantra party of Rajgopalachari came in. So I think Arvind Kejriwal has to come up with a proper economic manifesto, and I hope he's going to balance. You know, even in Europe, if you see, you have got free market economies which are very socialist. So he has to come with a proper economic manifesto without getting influenced either by zealots or sycophants or leftist ideologues. I already said that. Okay. And I hope going by today's speech, he's going to be as good as his word.
All right. On that note,
he's got to take a decision himself.
Okay.
Eventually.
On that note, completely running out of time. Shweta Punj, Sunil Alag, Captain Gopinath and Shiv Khera. Thank you so much for joining me here on Newsnight. And you have Rahul Kamal coming up next with Center Stage.